Hello, I'm Dr. Stickney. Welcome to Ask the Vet Live, presented by Good Charlie Energy. Here in the next 30 minutes, we're going to talk about things going on with Spay Neuter Network and things that we are doing to help in your community. And we are going to answer any pet-related questions that you have. To get started, let me say that March is National Pet Vaccination Month, and that is a great thing to celebrate and be aware of. Vaccines are the second most important medical discovery that have saved the most lives of anything. Number one would be clean drinking water that is not full of bacteria and other bad things for you. But number two is vaccines. They have made a tremendous difference in the lives of pets, and we want to have all of our pets being vaccinated. And in order to help facilitate that, we have several upcoming free vaccine clinics. Spay Neuter Network has several upcoming free vaccine clinics. I'm going to tell you about them now, but you will be able to find all of these details on our website at spayneuternet.org, so don't feel like you have to madly be scribbling things down. But at all of our vaccine clinics, we are giving away free parvo distemper vaccines to dogs and free FVRCP combo vaccines for cats. So parvo is a very important disease to protect puppies against because they will get terrible vomiting and diarrhea and can die from it. Distemper is another disease that can be fatal to dogs, so protecting them with the vaccine is a great thing to do. The FVRCP vaccine for cats protects them against a number of common respiratory diseases that can make them feel absolutely miserable and that are easily spread from one cat to the next. So, upcoming free vaccine clinics, free parvo distemper vaccines, free FVRCP vaccines, and these and other vaccines will also be available at a low cost at these. The first one coming up is March 12, which will be in Garland. And then we have another one on March 22 here in San Antonio at Potter's House Christian Fellowship. And then there are two more, one more on March 26 at Box Springs, and then finally on March 29, right at the end of March, at Dallas Animal Services. So those are opportunities for you to get your pets vaccinated. We want to get our adult pets vaccinated once a year. We want to have our puppies and kitties go through a complete series of vaccines so that they have protection against those diseases. Speaking of cats and kittens, this is the start of kitten season. So we are seeing lots of cats giving birth to litters of kittens, and every cat will give birth to an average of 5 or 6 kittens at a time. And this is the time of the year when they start having those litters. So, because of that, many shelters are becoming quickly overwhelmed with cute little kittens. If you are able to help by fostering at your local animal shelter, that would be a wonderful thing to do if you are able. And this is also an important time to be thinking about having your cat spayed or neutered. If you have a cat that is outside at any time of the day, if she's a female, someone is going to try to get her pregnant, and you do not want to have a surprise litter of kittens on your doorstep. And then if you have a male cat, that male cat, if he's outside, he is just going from yard to yard, finding all the girls and making kittens. So getting him neutered is a great way to help out the community as well. So lots of kittens, have your cat spayed or neutered, encourage your friends to do the same. And if you're able to help by fostering pets at the animal shelter, they would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Speaking of spaying and neutering, we've got a few things going on related to that. Tomorrow, Thursday, March 6th, is free fix for community cats and feral cats at Dallas Animal Services. So it doesn't get much better than that. You can have your cat spayed or neutered for free at Dallas Animal Services tomorrow. On Friday At the Spay Neuter Network Fort Worth Clinic, there is free and low cost fix for community cats and feral cats. So that's on Friday. And again, it's hard to beat the price of free. So that is really something to think about. We also, Spay Neuter Network also has a couple of pretty fun things coming up that you might want to put on your calendar. Tomorrow, again, Thursday, March 6th, tomorrow is Paws and Pints at Katy Trail Ice House. Our executive director, Jordan, will be there. She would love to meet you. Feel free to bring your pet there, have a drink at the ice house, and talk with Jordan. Let her know if you have any questions. Let her know that you appreciate what we're doing. Let her know if you are interested in volunteering. All of the events that we do with Spay and Neuter Network cannot function without the help of volunteers, and we would love to have you join us. So let her know if you're interested, and she can get you on the right track for that. This Saturday, we are having, there is the DFW Pets Are Family celebration. And this is going to be at the Gilbreth Reed Career and Technical Center in Garland from 8 in the morning until noontime. There's going to be free pet food, more free vaccines, and more for dogs and cats to do. So it will be a fun time for the whole family to bring out your pets and have them enjoy a nice Saturday morning of fun activities just for them. All right. Let's go into some questions that we've had. I have a few that have made it to my desk ahead of time, so we'll start with those, and then we'll just move on to the other questions that pop up as we go here. So, first off, one of the first question is, could you please talk about the dangers of declawing? So, happy to. So, declawing is considered an inhumane procedure, so much so that many countries have completely banned it. And there is also a bill coming up in the Texas legislature very soon. It's House Bill 2653, which is going to be a declaw ban for the state of Texas. So the declaw is a unnecessary and painful procedure, and there is no need to have it happen. And here are some reasons why. So the way that a cat's nail is made, we all know that cats can make their claws go in and out, right? They can retract their claws, and then they can bring them out when they want to do something. So scratching with their claws is a normal behavior, and when you declaw a cat, you are completely removing that third part of that digit. Imagine taking off the tip of your finger where your fingernail is. That is essentially what we are doing when we declaw a cat. So now we have a cat that has this procedure done, 10 little digits, 10 claws off, and it can be a very, very painful procedure, because immediately afterwards we're expecting those cats to walk on those paws, and that is just not a fair thing to them. They can bleed excessively from them. There is the risk of arthritis or leaving part of the claw behind, and when that happens, they will get the claw will try to regrow, and it will grow into this really bizarre nail horn kind of thing that's uncomfortable for the pet to walk on and necessitates another surgery. They can develop arthritis in those areas. They can develop chronic lameness, where even though everything is done, they have become so the pain of the procedure was so much that they just that they kind of don't get over wanting to step on those paws. And sometimes the nerves become permanently excited there, so that they feel tender all the time. So that is a it's a mean thing to do to a cat, and we should not be doing that. The cats can also then have sort of a phantom limb syndrome, where they act like their claws are still there and keep trying to do things with them, but there's no claws to come out, which can be kind of frustrating. And clawing and scratching things, that's a normal behavior for a cat. So they're still going to try to do that if they're not too painful. But if we have a cat that gets outside and gets itself into trouble, the first thing it's going to try to do is use its claws to get up a tree or jump over a fence or to protect itself. And, it doesn't realize that it doesn't have those claws. So now it's in a really, really bad spot, and it's going to be able to not escape, not defend itself. And, you've really kind of essentially put it into a bad situation with both of its paws tied behind its back. So declawing, lots of bad reasons, no good reasons to do it. If you are having an issue with the cat clawing or scratching things, there are much more humane things that we can do. With our behavioral things we can do. There are little things called soft paws, which are little rubber caps that go over their claws, and it looks like they have painted fingernails, and those are much easier and better things to do for our cats. So I would encourage you to visit your veterinarian if you're having any kind of cat scratching issues, clawing issues, and find a good solution that is good and kind to your cat. Another question: should I start my dog on joint supplements earlier in life before they get older so they have better joints for longer? So that is a great question, and the answer is that it cannot hurt. So particularly if you have a large breed dog that we know is prone to developing arthritis later in life, those tend to be our large and our giant breed dogs, going ahead and getting them started on those on joint supplements is a good idea. So joint supplements are usually glucosamine and chondroitin are the two chemicals that are in there. And I say chemicals, but they're things that are naturally in your body. They're the things that make up cartilage. So they belong in your body. So when you give a joint supplement to a dog or a cat, what you're doing is giving them extra building blocks for cartilage. And what this leads to then is that if that cartilage were to get damaged, they have an easy way to repair it. There are studies that have shown that if in arthritic animals, it definitely helps improve joint function by helping to lubricate those joints. So getting ahead of the game is a great idea. I would not start any supplement until they were over a year old, because we want those joints to grow normally and their growth plates to close first before we start giving them a lot of extra stuff. Sometimes too much of a good thing is not a good thing. So let's wait till they're about a year old, and then we can start them on those supplements. And that will, if you're going to get arthritis, it's going to happen. But we can certainly slow down the rate at which it happens and the severity of it by starting those supplements ahead of time. All right. How do I stop my lab from digging? Okay, so this is kind of a loaded question without a really good answer, because digging is a natural behavior for dogs. So getting them to stop is in many ways an unrealistic thing to expect. So let's talk about why dogs do dig. So digging is an instinct for them. They dig to hunt after things and find things that are buried in the ground. Dogs will bury things to come back to them later, like a bone, so that the other pets can't get to it. Other things can't get to it, but they can find it later. Digging can be a way for them to mark their territory and claim a certain spot, because when they dig, they're actually putting little scent markers from their paws into the ground there, so other dogs that come around will say, oh, there's another dog here. This is not my spot to dig. And then dogs will also, when they are getting ready to lie down, we've all seen when our dogs go to take a nap, right? They circle around and they dig at the ground, they dig at their bed before they lay down. And this is probably related to stirring up some nice, fresh, cool dirt to lie on when they go to lay down. And finally, dogs can dig because they are bored, because they have excessive energy that they're not able to burn off, or they see something on the other side of the fence that they want to get to. So that is a lot of reasons why dogs dig. So what can you do to help with that? A few things. Number one, if you have a very high energy, high octane dog, and most Labrador retrievers would fall into that category, let's give them some more exercise. Let's make sure that we're taking up to a walk, out to the dog park, getting some calories burned off of them, and kind of get them worn out so that they don't have so much energy to devote to digging. The other thing that we can do is to give them if they're still going to dig, we can give them a reason to dig. We can take a bone. This requires a little effort on our part, but we can take some bones or rawhide chew, whatever, dig a little hole in the yard and put it there, a spot where we would want our dog to dig. And then they can go and look for that and dig in that particular spot and find what you buried there so that they're not just making random holes in your yard. And then the other thing that we can do is give them some more enrichment. So if there's nothing going on in the yard, they may be bored and just wanting to dig. So we can give them some puzzle toys. We could give them a Kong toy that has little food kibbles in it or peanut butter in it, something to occupy their time and make them not think about digging. So it's a normal behavior, digging. They're going to do it to some extent. So what we can do is just try to outwit them at their own game. All right. Another question. My cat snores loud. Is that a sign of a health problem? So maybe yes and maybe no. If your cat is otherwise doing great and just happens to snore, but they don't have any weight loss, they're eating and drinking fine, they have normal activity, that is all probably something not to worry about. Reasons that cats can snore are because that could be a concern, are that they are overweight. So if they are overweight, that's putting more pressure on their breathing passages when they are totally relaxed and causing that snoring. Some of our brachycephalic cats, like Persians, the cats that have the cute little punched in faces with hardly a nose, they can have a problem called an elongated soft palate, which means that the tissue at the very back of their mouth is longer than it should be, and when they're totally relaxed, it vibrates as they breathe, and that sounds like snoring. They also could have potentially some other type of a respiratory disease, feline asthma, something like that. So if you are concerned about it, take a video of it and see your veterinarian and show them exactly what's going on, and they can help narrow it down. But if your cat is doing well, snoring is probably just a thing that it does, and you do not have to be concerned about it unless they are waking up from snoring or they are having some other sort of a health issue, not as active and not breathing very well, or losing weight. Then those are all things that we would want to get checked out. Okay, and then the final pre-question that I have here, is it okay to vaccinate a pregnant cat or dog for that matter? So the answer to that is we generally want to avoid vaccinating a pregnant animal if we can. And the reason for that is because modified live vaccines, which are a lot of the vaccines that we use, can cross that placenta and cause birth defects to the puppies and the kittens. And it is rare, but it can happen. So what you will want to do is wait until that dog is not pregnant and the puppies or kittens are puppies or kittens are weaned, and then vaccinate them. If you were planning for whatever reason to breed a dog or a cat, you would want to get them vaccinated a month before that breeding were to occur, so that the vaccine would have time to take effect and the mother could pass some antibodies on to the puppies and the kittens. But avoid vaccinating a dog or a cat unless you just absolutely have to, and in that case, visit with your veterinarian first to make sure that it's in the best interest of the dog and the little puppies, the cat and the little kitties. Okay, we have a question that's come in here live. Can a urinary tract support supplement labeled for cats be used on dogs as well? And the answer is no. And the reason is that urinary tract supplements are what they primarily do is to change the urine pH, so the acidity of the urine. And um, and cats typically will have a much more acidic urine than dogs will. So if we are giving a cat supplement, which is presumably going to make their urine more acidic, to a dog, that throws off the normal character of their urine. It can lead to painful urination. It can lead to the development of urinary stones. So that is something that we would not want to do. If it's labeled for cats, keep it for the cats. And likewise, if it's labeled for dogs, use it for the dogs and not the cats, because for the cats, it's going to put their urine pH in the opposite direction, and that can set them up for urinary tract problems and becoming forming crystals and becoming blocked, getting a urinary obstruction, or developing stones as well. Okay, another question has come up. What are signs of a flea allergy? That is a great question. Trying to lose my voice a little bit today. That is a great question, especially as the weather is warming up, because fleas are coming out and they are hungry and they want to bite anything that they can. So before I even address that question, I'm going to say that all of our dogs and cats need to be on a flea prevention in the state of Texas. We have lots of fleas, we have lots of ticks, and we need to protect them and prevent them from getting a foothold in our yard or in our house. So, and you can get all of those flea and tick preventions at Spay Neuter Network. And we have them at a very affordable cost. So, signs of a flea allergy. Flea allergies are more common in dogs than they are in cats. In dogs, the most common thing that we will see, in addition to just generalized itching, is that they will get what's called the flea wedge, what we call the flea wedge. And that is, if you look at the back end of their body toward the tail, you will see like an almost perfect triangle there, right by their hips, right over the top of their hips toward their tail, where they have chewed and scratched and ripped all the hair out of their body. And it just will be scabby looking skin with no hair there. And that is a sure sign of a flea allergy. If you see that, that is 99% of the problem, and getting them on a flea control program is key. In cats with flea allergies can present lots of different ways, but one of the things that we will see with them fairly commonly is that they will develop scabs around their neck from the fleas and from their flea allergy. But they can also lose hair and get scabs elsewhere on their body as well. So it's not quite as much of a slam dunk as it is with the dogs. But having those pets on a flea prevention will be the first step. And even if I have an itchy pet, but it doesn't have that characteristic look of a flea allergy, I am still going to put them on flea control anyway, because any kind of a bite, any kind of something that makes you itchy will increase. It kind of goes on a kind of stacks up like a pyramid. So let's say that I stub my toe. Okay, so that hurts at a certain level, but now I go along and I stub another toe. That hurts more. So it's the same thing with itching. If I'm already a little bit itchy, and then fleas start biting me, and I get a little bit itchier, it just gets worse and worse and worse until I just feel itchy all over. So having our pets on flea and tick control is really, really important. Okay, a follow-up to the urinary tract support question. What if the supplements are similar to the one labeled for dogs. I am still going to stick with the answer that we would not want to mix those products between dogs and cats because of the different proportions of what's in there. I would say I would not do that. I would simply there's the urinary tract urinary system is an incredible design, incredible system, and it does its job really well. And unless I was specifically told by a veterinarian to do something like that, I would not. I would keep the cat stuff with the cat stuff and the dog stuff with the dog stuff. Okay. Excellent. Well, we have a few more minutes left. We'll see if some other questions come up. And as we go here, just a moment. So as we go here, let's kind of recap a few things that we have going on with here with Spay Neuter Network. Remember that this is vaccination month. Vaccinations are very important, and we have several vaccine clinics with free and low-cost vaccines coming up throughout the month of March here in San Antonio, in Garland, in Balk Springs, and at Dallas Animal Services. We also know that it is kitten season, so we want to get our kittens spayed or neutered if we can, and there are a couple of events that we should be able to take advantage of here at the Spay Neuter Network in Fort Worth. On Friday, we have free and low-cost fix for community cats. And then we also have tomorrow at Dallas Animal Services, the free fix for community cats and feral cats. If you're looking for something fun to do tomorrow evening, head over to Paws and Pints at the Katy Trail Ice House. Our executive director, Jordan, will be there. She would love to meet you and talk with you about the things we do at Spay Neuter Network. And definitely, if you are interested in volunteering, touch base with her because we have something you can do. At Spay Neuter Network, our mission is to make the lives of pets and their owners better by eliminating pet overpopulation and maintaining wellness. So, and we can use all the volunteers that we can to help make that happen. How long does immunity last after a dog or cat has been vaccinated? So, typically the majority of vaccines that we use are labeled for 1 year. And that means that in the studies that they did with the vaccines, that they found that a year after the vaccine, those animals still had a significant immune response if they were challenged by whatever the disease they were vaccinated against. So, but after that, it's hard to judge. So, we are going to follow those label instructions and get our pets vaccinated yearly. Now, that doesn't mean like if I vaccinated my pet on today, March 5, 2025, that doesn't mean that on March 5, 2026, my pet instantly has no protection at all against a disease. It's not like that. But if we have to play the odds and set a standard, a year is the accepted standard for that. So that is what we will do. An excellent question. Remember this Saturday, DFW Pets Are Family, free pet food, free vaccines, and all kinds of other things for our dogs and cats to do. So please bring them out there to the Gilbert Reed Career and Technical Center in Garland from 8 to noon on Saturday and have a great time with your pet. I think it's going to be really nice weather, so that will be fantastic. And if you do go to Paws and Pints tomorrow, bring your pet. Pets are allowed out there, and pets just make everything better. So go ahead and bring them out there. Please remember to have your pet spayed or neutered, and please see us at Spay Neuter Network to keep them all up to date on their vaccines and their heartworm prevention and their flea control. Everything that we have talked about today, you can find on our website at spayneuternet.org. And let's see, we can always listen to this later. You should be able to. Thank you for joining Spay Neuter Network's Ask the Vet Live in collaboration with Good Charlie Energy. Remember to check out the links in the caption for free access to chat with licensed vets anytime, a discount pharmacy, and to leave any questions for our next live. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day.